Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Dark Match. I am No Leaf Clover.
I'm the match striker of DarkMatch, Mega Fighter Free.
I'm sick today.
He's Alli, and I'm Christopher Says DarkMatch's Mastodon of the Monotone, giving you our this week's example of what Iron Sheik is tweeting tonight. I'm sure you'll find my impression quite good. Fuck the Chinese egg roll. If it tastes bad, I beat the fuck out of it like I murder the ass fuck of the Ultimate Warrior.
That was perfect. Spot on.
I think
Yeah.
it's the ass fuck that I love so much. It's like, he's not murdering the ass of the Ultimate Warrior, he's murdering the ass fuck of it.
Well, he's also murdering the ass fuck of the egg roll. I would honestly,
Yes.
I think Sheik versus egg roll would draw well over 1 million.
What did the egg roll do to him?
It's
It
probably
has
Nothing
vegetables
yet.
in it.
It's about if it tastes bad. It's not even that it tasted bad, it's just if it tastes bad. And given that he didn't follow up on it, it would appear the egg roll tasted good.
Yeah, but
Made that egg roll humble.
enough about things that actually are exciting. Let's talk about things people that consider themselves exciting but come up very short as we
Yes.
start the aftermath of Royal Rumble with none other than Johnny Ace.
John Laurinaitis, the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations and the Interim General Manager of Raw.
I mean, I almost thought that when he announced that, there was a little bit of spirit in his voice. You see him come down slapping hands with everyone in the crowd. Very much phoning in the idea that he's
Laurinaitis.
Wait, didn't he also say soon to be permanent general manager?
That's
Or
when he was evil.
Oh, they dropped that?
No, not necessarily. He's now he's just like, I love everyone here. I love everyone in the back. Even the people that aren't on TV.
I love you. You love me. We're a happy family.
I'll punch you in the face.
Yeah. So he's
Frick
kissing
Kane.
major ass. He's announcing everything under the sun, whether it's for this Raw or for the Elimination Chamber. And by the way, participants, according to him, are CM Punk, obviously, Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, R-Truth, and Chris Jericho. We'll talk about that last participant in a sec, but nonetheless, for this Raw, Laurinaitis announces that we'll see Miz versus Kofi Kingston, Ziggler versus Randy Orton, Eve versus Beth Phoenix for the Divas title, and Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk. More on that in a few.
God.
Holy shit! Why didn't I know that? I'm reviewing the show.
Nonetheless, we'll just leave you with more on that in a few minutes. More than enough.
Yeah.
But just he pretty much sums up everything up by saying, "I'm looking forward to my review, and I just know that after calling CM Punk's match down the middle last night, that I'll be geared in to be the permanent general manager of Raw, along with my job of executive vice president, talent relations, blah blah blah." But
Wait. I have a question. He's in charge of talent relations, right?
he's the executive vice president. I don't know.
How is he the vice president?
Are you are you asking this question in terms of kayfabe terms or shoot terms? Because I really don't know where Triple H stands in comparison to him in real life. I'm not very clear on that.
So wouldn't the executive vice president blah 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 be better than the general manager?
You would think so.
Yeah.
Personally, if I was him, I would just take the cushy office in Connecticut and be like, screw this.
Yeah.
But I want to say more things on my title of John Laurinaitis.
Then again, figuring out the corporate ladder of WWE is just kind of hard.
When do I get promoted to corporal?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only real explanation is being interim Raw general manager allows him on TV. And he draws ratings because he's Mr. Excitement. But nonetheless, before he could conclude himself, CM Punk interrupts him, getting straight out of his entrance theme and breaking into everyone's favorite song when someone's about to leave. He goes around the ring singing "Na na na na, hey hey hey, goodbye" in I gotta say a voice that's probably the worst voice I've heard since Edge did it last year. Um, but nonetheless, Punk and Triple H being on pretty good terms these days. He said he can't wait until the game pretty much kicks Laurinaitis' ass out the door, and basically Johnny Ace is like, "Oh, that's okay, Punk. I just wanna set aside our differences, let bygones be bygones." And he's about to extend his hand. Punk says, "I'd take that if I were about to lift you under my shoulders and put you to sleep." But before he could possibly do that for the crowd, none other than Daniel Bryan comes out, which very rare instance of like the world heavyweight champion getting the opening promo on Raw, and glad to see it.
Hmm.
But
It's also pretty much an indie fan's wet dream.
yeah,
Yes.
but nonetheless, he pretty much he pretty much steals the spotlight by saying like, Johnny Ace and Punk, who the hell cares about them? Like, you got to look at me, the world heavyweight champion. I beat two monsters inside of a steel cage, and like you, everyone should follow my example as a vegan. He's getting into this gimmick now. What do you guys think of that?
I am a vegan.
If he starts ranting about how he has psychic powers, I'm all for it.
Same here.
But it's like,
It's just another evolution in the fact that they're going to make him a heel, and I like that because
Yeah.
it's always seemed to me he would be better as a heel, but I never figured he would be like this kind of heel.
it's a weird kind of observation that like you consider Punk finally wins the WWE champion. I mean, I know he's had a few world titles, but he goes from there and he transitions straight out of his like, I'm straight edge and I'm better than you. Like that part of his gimmick has been more or less de-emphasized. Although like he kind of brought it up with Bryan as like them being like kind of against the curve. But on the other hand, Daniel Bryan becomes a vegan. Just him as a vegan because is something that Michael Cole just puts over, and now he pretty much becomes the straight edge savior or the Petus 2 savior or whatever you want to call it.
Here's the weirder thing. All of a sudden, we're facing down the reality that Michael Cole, I mean, I still don't like Michael Cole, but in kayfabe terms, Michael Cole was kind of right about him being a douchebag.
Yeah, now it's kind of being confirmed. Like
Yeah.
more on that when we get to SmackDown because
Yeah.
there was something very amusing then. But Punk says, like, enough of this role model crap. Like, who cares if you're a vegan? I don't even know what you eat. I don't even know what that means. Let's just have a great match tonight. And at that, Sheamus comes out. He basically he doesn't give a conclusive answer just to say right off the bat who he's going to face. He says, I it's so glorious that I won the Royal Rumble and now I could either challenge the WWE champion or the World Heavyweight Champion. Like, he kind of makes it seem like he's being conclusive on both of them, but he's going to keep his answer under wrap. He wishes Punk and Bryan both good luck and basically says, yeah, I agree. Triple H, go on and fire Laurinaitis. Everyone wants to see it. We have a stare down and we go to commercial. So, opening promo, just very nice for a change.
Segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More very necessary story for furthering, and from all three good performers, and a fourth guy who, although a lot of us hate him as a human being, god damn, he makes a good television character.
Yeah.
Just because he's a crappy person doesn't mean that, he's not good at his job.
He knows how to work the heat.
Mostly because he really is an unlikable douchebag.
Wonder if we're actually gonna get a Johnny Ace match at WrestleMania a la Michael Cole.
I mean, he was a wrestler before. I
yeah.
mean,
He wasn't a good one.
Credentials.
He wasn't a good one, but he had a bunch of weird sick spots that he could pull out. It's weird. Like, watch the top 10 moves of Johnny Ace, and it's like, wow, this guy did some pretty interesting stuff, but I don't think that any of that really translates to him having like good feuds or matches.
I never really seen him wrestle. I just saw his really weird gimmicks.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff of him wrestling with none other than like Kenta Kobashi and and a young Bradshaw actually, but nonetheless, we can move on to our first match of the night. Going on another one of our tangents. We have Randy Orton versus Dolph Ziggler, and I mean, Ziggler continues to like put over his character. Like he still looks good in the ring. He now is added to like his taunts, like his own variation of the Fargo strut. Where he just does the jig and then he flips his hair gel like he usually does. And it's good to put him over, but like I kind of got the idea that they're kind of feeding him to Randy Orton, like that's kind of been thrown around like in response to this match, just to put over the fact that Orton's pissed at Wade Barrett.
I can't really. Is it a good or a bad thing that I can't really remember what happened in this match?
Probably decent enough considering it was a TV match, but then again,
I've seen this
there's
match
nothing
before.
notable about it.
Yeah.
Wade Barrett's like up in the skybox, like watching down below. It again, it's the more of a Orton thing. Like wherever Ziggler goes, hopefully it'll be good. Like I hope to see him like turn out a good performance in the Elimination Chamber. But nonetheless, after 5-7 minutes, Orton hits the RKO and wins.
Yeah, not a bad match, but not anything to like write home about. It wasn't like, I mean, how many times did we see this when fucking both of them were on SmackDown?
Yeah, I really can't say. I mean, this pretty much happened like a lot October, November, like that time frame, like when Orton was just about to stop having matches with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we get a bunch of packages, like stuff like recapping John Cena and Kane's match. I mean, you could hear about that at TRA Productions blog, a Royal Rumble episode. And also they announced the newest induction of the Hall of Fame, none other than Iron Mike Tyson.
Yep.
Like
When
Tyson.
are they gonna fucking induct Randy Macho Man Savage? Is that
Gonna
gonna
be
be
a
like
while.
the thing they announced at the end? Because that's all I've been really waiting for.
Well,
Yeah.
they are building up the tension with that.
I mean, if he caps it off, then it'll be a pretty decent class, like as meaningless as this thing is to begin with. But
Well, he is getting inducted with Mike Tyson.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
I mean, at the very least, Mike Tyson did more stuff than Drew Carey, who showed up once. Like Mike Tyson actually was like a fairly big deal when he came in the '90s, and he was a funny person when they were doing the fucking. He was one of the funny people when they did the Raw guest host stuff. So, yeah, I don't really have a problem with this.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true, but it's like Hall of Fame, and there's a bunch of other like legends in there, so it kind of degrades it a little.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, how important do you think the WWE Hall of Fame is? I'm sure the people that make it there think it's important, but it's a Hall of Fame that doesn't even have a hall. It's not even a physical building. It's just this thing, and you can say you're a WWE Hall of Famer. Okay, great. What does that mean?
you have a ring.
It'd be one thing if it
I
was.
got a ring.
Oh, it gives you magic powers.
Yeah, you have
I
a
just
ring that
remembered
pretty much possesses all your skills up to the point of your induction.
Yeah, and then
Apparently.
you
That
give
is
it to
true.
Abyss and have a horrible storyline with it.
Yeah, but
Yes.
enough about that.
God,
Let's talk about
flashbacks.
let's talk about William Regal and his child abuse.
What?
I thought
Wait, what?
I thought the spoilers were lying to me.
No, believe me. John Laurinaitis like corners William Regal of all people backstage, and I believe he's like, "How's your son, William?" And he's like, "Oh, nasty little bugger." And Johnny Ace is like, "Yeah, well, I know. Ninth grade could be a bad thing. he's like, oh, I'm taking him to high school for the first. And William Regal goes, actually, I keep him locked up in the attic.
Wait,
Very
he
dark.
keeps his son locked up in the attic? For some reason, the spoilers
What a heel!
For some reason, the spoilers I read say he has conjoined twin daughters he keeps in the attic.
Oh. Oh.
I'm not
I
sure.
forgot about that detail. I just remember that he kept one of his offspring in the attic. It was a very minor thing, but nonetheless, it kind of stuck out.
Some tells me they're not going to cheer for him a while.
No, well, this isn't being given the Katie Vick treatment. It's not a spotlight angle, but amid this, you see Laurinaitis greeting everyone backstage, the camera crew, the coffee gophers, and Kurt Hawkins. Hey, Kurt.
Hey, it's
Hi,
that
Kurt.
one guy who did that one thing that one time.
You were there when Brodus Clay.
Zack Ryder's Janetti.
You were under Brodus Clay when he got his first pin count. And speaking of which, we have another.
Wow.
Yeah, Bow Chicka Chihuahua. We have our Brodus Clay squash of the week. And honestly, like, let it not sound like I'm being dismissive because I still enjoy it, but it'll be about time for someone to basically challenge him for being a complete goof and him to prove them wrong. He squashes Tyler Rex. And
hey, it's
couldn't
that
have
guy
happened more.
who hangs out with that guy.
Couldn't have happened to a more deserving jobber.
How does he have a job?
They got to fill some time in Superstars. You don't want to like have your main people bust their ass like on the road every day and then work a show that no one will watch. I mean, house shows are one thing, but that's like in our contract.
Man, I forgot that show was still on.
It's on Thursdays. I kind of wish they'd televise it at some point.
Well, it's not necessarily on. It's just on the internet.
It's just on the internet. You can go watch it literally at any time.
Yeah. Apparently, there's some interesting stuff going on in Superstars and NXT also, because NXT is no longer like a rookie competition. It's just velocity to Superstars heat.
Interesting.
Is that what they're doing with it?
Wait, so no one won?
No. This is not a season thing. I personally, I actually may start to regularly watch it number one, if I had time. And number two, if they actually start bringing people up from FCW.
I'm sorry, No Leaf, but when it comes to being on NXT, there are no winners.
It's true. They kind of do take people, some of them, which have worked in like the indie circuit for like 8 years and call them rookies. So it's kind of hard to get them over with that.
Yeah.
I just wish there was an episode where they come out and this guy just yells, "You all lose!"
But yeah, let's see. Our next segment is a backstage promo where Daniel Bryan and CM Punk challenge each other's defining lifestyle choice. Basically, Punk says no one knows what a vegan is. Bryan says no one knows what straight edge means. And Punk says he's like, it doesn't matter. I don't claim to be a role model anymore. He's just the best in the world.
I stopped doing that like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
His next heel move is liking Coke.
I guess so. He's the choice of a new generation. Oh,
wait, which kind of Coke?
Coca-Cola. Coke. Pepsi.
No longer the choice of a new generation, just a stiff classic. I'm trying to make a stupid Coke analogy. Whatever. We come to a match that pretty much we think had held Frozen over, like if these two had a match together in the first place, let alone them both being the two top champions in the company.
No kidding, right? Talk about being in an alternate universe.
Yeah, somewhere Magpie just came.
Oh yeah, like I'm very curious as to whether or not he watched it. I almost regret that he wasn't around to be on this, but nonetheless, they basically have a short ROH match from the handshake of the beginning to the stiff ass strikes.
Oh yeah.
To Daniel Bryan in the midst of it doing a gym break special. For those that don't know what that is, that's when he basically bends his opponent's fingers and like wrist back, rolls Punk's up into like a circle and stomps on it. Wow! Oh, you don't
that is
see
really
those
hard
anywhere.
to explain.
it's like they're all the spots that they do, like Punk's roundhouse, like Bryan's front drop kick, like the different like kicks and like say Punk's Randy Savage elbow, but they mix it in with like a bunch of other stuff, and they were like, it was really a kind of thing of them testing each other. And I mean, like
I like that it was an even match.
Yeah.
It was really back and forth. No one had the distinct advantage, even though for the most part, I think Daniel Bryan had the slight upper hand just because he's the heel. But go figure, a good match worked with psychology that had awesome spots. It's almost like if you put two people in the ring that can wrestle, awesome things will happen on your TV program.
And not only
Who
that,
knew?
but apparently, like, if I'm not mistaken, this segment actually got him more viewers, though it didn't match like the peak that they had at the beginning of the show, but like it got him more viewers than the previous segment.
So
Only be good thing.
yeah, wrestling sells. I don't want to hear anyone else say that wrestling doesn't work.
Would you say that wrestling matters?
I just died a little bit inside.
But yeah, like, I mean, the finish is pretty much like amid like a bunch of reversed finishes. You basically have Punk throwing Bryan to the outside, and then basically out of nowhere, Chris Jericho comes out, no entrance, like no sparklies. He throws Bryan into the ring barrier, causing a DQ, and Bryan to be the winner. Runs the ring, hits Punk with a code breaker. And the feud that might have began by Chris Jericho winning the Rumble, that didn't happen. Is now starting. I can't wait to fucking hear the promos these two have.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
I mean, all signs point to it pretty much just culminating in a WWE title match at WrestleMania, and like I never complain about that. They've faced each other off before when Jericho was a heel and Punk a face in around like 2007-8. But on a much grander stage, I'll definitely be looking forward to it.
Man, talking about good wrestling sucks. There's nothing funny to say.
Yeah.
Well, here's something
Punk
funny. R-Truth's
Jericho.
gonna be doing commentary for the next match.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Or no.
But oh yeah, R-Truth comes to the ring and he's wearing like kind of normal clothes. I think he's actually wearing his what sort of looks like a Kevlar vest, but it's really just a stylized white vest.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still wearing the lab coat?
No, he wasn't wearing the lab coat.
Oh.
But our next match is Kofi versus The Miz, and it's really funny because like everyone expected the job guy to be Kofi, and it wasn't. Because I don't know if they're really. I mean, he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber, and I'm sure he's going to be very impressive. But like lately, like everyone expected him to get punished, like after what happened with Evan Bourne. But not only did they work a very long match, but they worked one with which basically Kofi gets out of the skull crushing finale and hits the Trouble in Paradise. It was fun to watch. It was all right, and they put Kofi over.
Yeah, that's
It looks
the
like
thing.
he's okay, but
After falling out with his tag team, he kind of needs it.
yeah.
He's the
Make
kind
him
of
look
guy I'd like to get a singles push, but
Make him look
it's a little
capable.
fun. But apparently they're just going to pair him up with Mason Ryan to replace Evan.
Oh God, no! Please,
Honestly,
no.
I could actually expect Kofi to be out of the tag team title picture just because they're putting him in the Elimination Chamber and putting him in singles matches. I don't know if those rumors are really have any weight, but there is a rumor regarding the Miz that he was blamed for Survivor Series drawing not to their expectations.
Wait, who was blamed for that?
Miz. That's another rumor.
Yeah,
That's
rumors are
annoying.
rumors.
That basically they were gonna like thrust Miz right back into the title picture, like by having him win the Rumble. Like there was another fucking plan that they were gonna do along with Orton and Sheamus, I mean, Orton and Chris Jericho, they were gonna have Miz potentially win it, and he was gonna like get his spotlight back, which was pretty much taken away from him after he lost the title to Cena. But apparently, they didn't blame the shit booking. They didn't blame the fact that Miz and R-Truth looked like crap before Survivor Series.
Yeah.
They just blamed the Miz. It's his fault.
It's not our fault. It's everyone else.
It's not our fault that John Cena and The Rock didn't draw. Okay, it's your fault.
And the fact is, like, Survivor Series had numbers better than the one in 2010. So I guess it was
apparently because it didn't have blockbuster numbers. I guess
not a wide enough increment.
I'm kind of wondering who they blamed before.
But yeah,
Wait, do you mean that, John Cena versus The Rock, with the way they overexpose it, wasn't the huge fucking deal they expected it to be? Oh my, color me fucking shocked.
And honestly, like, again, like everyone else, or like probably a lot of people, I'm not so much looking forward to Cena versus Rock at WrestleMania, but I would not mind at all seeing it. Like, I'm sure it'll be an interesting match. It's just like, I think the lead up has been mishandled very, very badly.
Because it really does boil down to the fact that they fucking booked it a year in advance and won't quit talking about it. They don't give it any time to simmer,
Yeah.
They don't give us any time. They don't give us any time to anticipate it. Before we can even say, man, I wonder how that match is going to be. They're going to be like, oh my God, it's going to be Cena versus The Rock. Don't you want to see Cena versus The Rock? Don't you want to see Cena versus The Rock? Ah!
Consider Karma's appearance in the Rumble. She had not been mentioned since her departure. So her surprise appearance at the Rumble got a huge pop. So
as did her implant buster and Dolph Ziggler. Like,
yeah,
that was, I was surprised, like, at her react, but man, people wanted to see her. I can't wait. Like, I mean, again,
we've gone on like 4 different tangents now.
But at the same time, you have like things like every time you see The Rock, like there's always the whole live via satellite joke. I don't really find that a joke anymore because, like, I remember the promo he cut, the first satellite promo he cut. I think it was after Cena made an answer to him, in a very good one, the whole freestyle thing. It was the most rambling, incoherent, like, just crap I've ever heard. Like, none of what he said had any pertinence, made any sense. Like, nobody really. I mean, and of course it still lit up fans, but nonetheless, like, it.
Wasn't it just him going off a list of his catchphrases?
Well, yes. Yeah, and like saying, you dare challenge The Rock with my family, and I got down to this business. Like, he sounded like an old man. Like, he sounded like an angry old man.
Get off my porch!
Get off my lawn, Cena!
We're gonna, like, if you enjoy us talking about, like, the shitty build up to what'll probably be a very interesting match, like, expect to hear it from us, like, for the next 6-7 weeks.
I'm still saying it didn't feel like it built naturally. In all seriousness.
But nonetheless, we have a cute little segment with David Otunga and Johnny Ace where Laurinaitis is like, "You're not out for my job, are you, Otunga?" And Otunga's like, "I'm happy being a stooge. Everything will work out for you."
Want more coffee, sir?
Yeah. I just sipped some of mine from my mug because that's my new pose. Our next segment is a Divas title match between Eve Torres and Beth Phoenix. And Beth Phoenix glam slams the fuck out of her.
Yay.
I'm okay with that.
I thought she was going to drop it right there. Because they're definitely not averse to having that title change on TV. And this is kind of what happened to Natalya last year, except it was at the Rumble that she lost the belt. But after the match, Eva sprawled out, and Kane appears on the Tron. Basically, of the utmost pertinence to Eve, Kane says to her, Cena's not gonna, unless he embraces the hate, he's not gonna beat me, and he's not gonna beat The Rock at WrestleMania.
Is this? I know it's a really weird thing what they're doing with Kane, where they're like trying to get Cena to embrace the hate because Kane is sort of trying to help Cena beat The Rock. Is that the point?
I guess.
I don't know, but it's just like with the build-up of The Rock at WrestleMania facing Cena, it just feels like this is going to end really soon with Kane.
Yeah. Basically, but the point of Kane talking is that like he's gonna take his hate out on Eve. His pyro hits, Eve's scared shitless, and he's on the apron, but John Cena comes out complete with music. I don't think he needed the music. Um, they basically brawl, and then Cena gets the upper hand, and he starts enjoying it. He gets in the apron, and he's like, "We're gonna have a party up in here."
You have a party up here.
That's what people say when they're mad, right?
Yeah, that may have just killed the momentum of this.
Stub my toe. We're gonna have a party up in here.
So, well, see, here's the thing.
I thought he was gonna say something like vicious, like "Get up, you son of a bitch, so I can hate you again," or
no. It's weird because like
just something tough. Not "We're gonna have a party up in here."
This is not like, I mean, people actually appreciate it. Like, and I'm not shitting on anyone's opinions. People thought, oh look, Cena's enjoying it. He's being more devious or whatever the fuck. No, he does this all the time. Like,
He's gonna break out the Sierra Mist.
Yeah, I don't. He's all smiles, like whether or not he relishes the idea that he's kicking someone's ass. Like, I didn't see anything different from what he usually does, but he slams Kane around, like hits him around the barricades and steel steps, and Kane bails.
Yeah, I think you're right when you say that there was nothing really different in what he was doing. It was kind of the same old thing for Cena. You know, I'm finally angry. I'm finally tough. And then next week he'll come out being his smiling, goofy self. We'll all resent the fuck out of him. It's like same shit, different day.
But yeah,
what should have happened is that he should have been beating the crap out of Kane, and then he should have put Kane through the table, and then he should have grabbed a chair and beat Kane to death. He should have just kept piling it on until the refs had to. Like, that would be John Cena.
Yeah, he should have been dragged out. Like, he should have.
I'd hate to bring up an example, but do you remember when John Morrison got like sprayed in the face and then wrestled like really pissed off?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Kind of like that.
Where you're just like, I do not give a fuck anymore. This didn't seem like a guy who was pissed off because this dude pretty much crippled one of his good friends that he's been trying to help. It was like, Cena's angry. Like,
party.
Like, have some emotion. Like, some real emotion. Like, just beat him half to death. Beat him up. But
choke him with someone's tie.
They're never gonna let John Cena have, like, I think every major face has had that moment. Like, I think Hogan's had that moment. I think Rock, Austin, Sting, Steamboat. I think they've all had those moments. They've all had those moments where they're just like, I am fucking done, and just fucking wreck shit. And John Cena is never going to be that guy to do that.
I don't want to bring up a common complaint when people mention this all the time, but Cena's just too much of a kid-friendly wrestler to do that.
It's the truth. It's not it's a legitimate, complaint.
Yeah, and not even wrestler, just personality. Like there's nothing. Like, it's like I'm sure, Noel, if you were on the Royal Rumble episode too, you said it best. Like, he wasn't as pissed off as he was at the go home show to Raw. Like, he was just fine. He was just normal wrestling.
Yeah, he at the beginning of the match, he came out, did his salute, and he was all serious. He jumped in the ring, and it was just like, oh look, it's John Cena
having a match.
Nothing has changed.
And I mean, and to maybe like go against like the idea that it's quote unquote his fault. It may just be Vince paranoid, like not really wanting him to move away from that area. Like,
no, it's just What he is now sells, and he shouldn't change it if it's still selling. That's his mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, well, I guess we're gonna have to move on to the showcase of the evening. It's another one of these, I guess, promo segments, vignette, whatever you want to call it. Like they'd have a contract signing. Here comes the status of John Laurinaitis. Some weird shit going on in this this end segment. Like again, we've said that John Laurinaitis is a very good actor. Triple H comes out to assess him. Like one thing that the kind of vote of no confidence angle really didn't make clear to us was that Triple H, while he's still the COO, he doesn't run Raw. Like they didn't emphasize that nearly as much as they usually emphasize story points.
Yeah.
But here he is.
Really doesn't, because he got involved in all that stuff with Nash and Punk. They stripped him of his ability. They basically stripped him of his ability to govern Raw on any level. So that's why they had to hire John Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
Johnny Ace motherfuckers.
J Lau.
Backlash. J Law. Basically Triple H says like you're kind of. I mean, like I thought you'd do badly, and I was not only right, but I was more than right. You're not like everyone else. You're worse, and the saddest part about it is that I could see through everything. You pretty much use this as a platform to get yourself over, and couldn't even do that when you really were a wrestler. So why would you be able to do it now? Basically, Vince. I might let you keep your job, however, and basically what Vince would do is he would let people join a certain club, and as soon as I saw Triple H like saying, I might let you do it, I was like, yeah, it's Kiss My Ass Club, right? Coming up.
Yeah.
The
Trying to
creepiest
telegraph that one.
Yeah, the creepiest part about this is that as we've been saying that John Laurinaitis plays his role very well, as soon as he heard about this, he was like, okay, I agree. Drops down on his knees, gets out a stick of chapstick, and basically puckers his lips and closes his eyes, except it doesn't look like he's resisting it or he's like, oh, I have to get through this if I want to keep. He looks like a robot.
Yeah.
Didn't he have the similar expression when CM Punk was kneeing him in the face?
Yeah, when he was on his shoulders for the GTS, yeah, people have made fun of it. He pretty much looks like this thinker or whatever, but
He completely. It was worse than no selling it.
no, but in this case, it was almost so fitting because it's like, yeah, of course he's gonna take this abuse with a straight face. He's John Laurinaitis.
I kind of like the fact the gimmick is he's a tool.
He's the definition of tool. It's like Vince McMahon is the definition of evil corporate boss. John Laurinaitis is, I mean, this has been said too many times, but this sold it. Like, the fact is he didn't have to do any acting to fucking achieve this. So I guess he's at an advantage.
Oh God.
And Triple H is like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not as crazy as Vince, and I would not want your fucking lips touching any part of my body, let alone my ass. So, basically, he's about to say, John Laurinaitis, you're...
No, he specifically said, John, I want to wish you the best of luck in all of your future gong.
Yeah.
Your future gongs.
Yes.
The Gong Show.
Future gongs.
Here comes Undertaker. And honestly, I was expecting this to go exactly as it went last year. And comparing it to last year, it wasn't as funny. Which I suppose is more in its favor. Like Undertaker didn't look like some kind of goth raccoon. I don't even know, but like basically, yeah, they did the sort of a similar thing. Undertaker looked up at the WrestleMania 28 logo up there, motioned towards it, like basically gave the same indication. Triple H stands there for quite a while, considers it, pats Undertaker on the back, leaves the ring.
Yeah, Triple H is like, yeah, you remember that time where I hit you with the sledgehammer and I tombstoned you and I pedigreed you like 3 times and you still didn't die. I don't know what else I could do besides maybe shoot you, but considering you're dead, I don't know. Do I have to shoot you in the head at that point? You know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna go. I get some business to attend to, but good luck with that whole WrestleMania thing. Bye.
Yeah.
Which,
See ya,
to be
buddy.
honest, I'm kind of glad if he's going to shrug it off like that, because I don't want that. I don't want him to have the next one.
Yeah, the bottom line for me is this. It's obvious the match is going to happen the way they'll build it up, or rather, no matter how they'll build it up. And I'm disappointed about that because I don't think that Triple H versus Undertaker 3 matches up to nearly to Undertaker versus HBK Part 2. I thought that proceeded a lot more naturally. As Shawn Michaels reaching the end of his career. I mean, it could be the same for Triple H, but him being active on the roster and making appearances as a personality kind of makes it a little flimsy. But at the same time, as good as their match was last year, I feel like they'll just have another good match.
I don't think they're gonna have a match.
You really don't
No, I think that's what that segment was really all about. I think that was Undertaker silently challenging Triple H, and Triple H being like, "Fuck that noise." Because after that segment, Undertaker looks up at the sign and he looks back at Triple H like, "Well, now what the fuck am I gonna do?" Like he does. Like all of a sudden, his plan was to face Triple H at WrestleMania again, and now Triple H is saying, "No, I don't want to face you at WrestleMania.
Well,
I know I can't win." What you said when Shawn Michaels came to the ring last year and said, "You can't win. What makes you think you can do what I couldn't?" Everybody remembers that segment. What makes you think you can beat The Undertaker? I'm one of the best wrestlers alive. I love you to death, Hunter, but you're not nearly as good as me, and you have said that yourself. You can't beat him. And Hunter tried to do it anyways. And then Triple H lost. Like I said, he pedigreed him 3 times. He tombstoned him. Nothing worked. So why would he want to do it again?
No, see, I kind of see it in a similar but different way. I think that there's a precedent for Triple H doing this, because if you recall, sometime during the fall, I forgot when exactly it was, Triple H put himself over, and he was like, after my match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, I walked out, and Undertaker had to be carted out. I retired The Undertaker. I think that he's walking away because he's like, dude, you beat me. You've proven to everyone else that you could beat everyone that comes up against me. You could probably beat me this year if I were to choose to do this, but I don't want you to get hurt. That's basically how I think they're gonna tease it, but I still think it'll end with them having another match. I still think that they're gonna tease a denial, but then whether mind games or whatever, Triple H is gonna agree. I would want it to be a younger guy that he could put over, but I still think they're gonna repeat it. But if the scenario goes that way, as disappointed as I would be, I think that they'd probably lead up to it better than they did last year, with them just confronting each other and saying yeah, we're the 2 last outlaws, whatever the hell that means. They could put some psychology in the match. If it is indeed going on, then I'll probably have a better opinion of it. But
maybe set up the idea of these 2 guys in their twilights and both of their careers starting to come to an end and just going out with a bang or something.
I mean, but it's that. See, the problem with that was that that's pretty much the premise of their match last year. I would figure it would be more about the Undertaker kind of trying to maintain while being completely battered. I mean, that would be awesome, but I don't know.
Well, it's just one year after the other. I mean,
yeah.
But
I don't really want them. I don't really want them to have Undertaker face the same person twice, 2 years in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see
that.
that.
Face Shawn Michaels twice and then face Triple H twice.
Kind of
with Shawn Michaels, it kind of made sense
Yeah.
Triple H is just, hey, want to wrestle again?
But yeah, I guess at this point we'll move on to SmackDown. Like that was a good Raw. You don't get too much of those all the time. Like Divas match still short, but at the same time, the squash went into someone we'd mark out for. But and SmackDown I thought was pretty good too. They're actually, I mean, it isn't like we aren't being blown out of our socks like what we saw the potential in for like when CM Punk originally cut that promo, blah blah blah. But it's been a good few months, a good past few months. Like I'd say since the aftermath of Survivor Series.
It's not amazing, but at least they're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting out strong this year. So. But
nonetheless, we start off SmackDown with Teddy Long doing his characteristic jig in the middle of the ring. So like, whatever.
Is he keeping it real?
Yeah, as per usual. He says we had a great Rumble and we're gonna have a great Elimination Chamber. He's gonna, and just like Johnny Ace did, he introduces the participants: Daniel Bryan defending his title, Wade Barrett, Big Show, Cody Rhodes, Mark Henry, and Randy Orton. I mean, well, more on that later. Basically, the participants will all draw numbers, and pick 1 and 2 will start the match, blah, blah, blah. And after a few intervals, more people will enter, and the last man standing wins. Yep. You know, and people listening to this probably don't need to be told. Mark Henry comes out, and basically he's pissed off that he's going to be even involved in the match. he's like...
he's covering up the fact he's injured as fuck right now and needs to be put off the show.
Yeah. And basically, like, at the very least, this comes with them like putting over the Elimination Chamber as a very dangerous match. And they're quite good at doing that. With Money in the Bank, they didn't do that as well last year, but the matches spoke for themselves.
Yeah, I think I kind of hate Elimination Chamber as a concept because I really feel like. I don't like the fact that it's like the match that leads into fucking WrestleMania. But you do have to get over just how like this isn't like Hell in a Cell, which is basically just a hardcore match in a cage. This is like truly freaking brutal, and these 6 people have to do whatever it takes to get to WrestleMania. It's nice that they put it over that way, even though I don't like the fact that they use Elimination Chamber every year.
Yes, but in kayfabe, it's the equivalent of being ran over by a car.
Yeah.
I guess so.
It's also unrealistic. 2 miles of chain. 2 miles of chain where?
Well,
you can't.
When you're like multiplying it by the chain links wrapping together, it could be 2 miles, but they probably use separate pieces.
It's like a chain link rice cooker, but if you lay it all out in a straight line, then it's 2 miles, I guess. That's the idea that I've had. Like that's a very very hypey statistic that really, when you think about it,
they pretend the 2 miles of chain matters, but really it's just whatever.
It's just chain.
It's kind of like when they said people would fall 13 feet off the Raw entrance ramp, and then like third people would be like 2 inches shorter than it.
Yeah, but basically among other things, Mark Henry says that he's the most dominant talent on SmackDown. He's Teddy's meal ticket. And basically, Teddy, take me out of the Elimination Chamber match. I want a match tonight with Daniel Bryan. And Teddy's like, no, I'm not going to do that. What if I don't? And basically, Mark Henry starts to like get a little bit more aggressive. He starts to get pissed. Teddy says like, no, I'm not going to do it. And while he's doing this, he's poking Mark Henry in the chest, as if
a lot of chest poking this month.
Yeah. As if that'll do a lot. As if that'll give you a favor, Teddy Long. You crazy son of a bitch.
Yes, poking this man in the chest will make the large, angry black man calm down.
No.
That should work.
But basically, summation, no World Heavyweight Championship match for you. And basically, Mark Henry says, Teddy, you're replaceable, just like John Laurinaitis on Raw. I held on to that line because does that mean it's official that he's no longer the, like... All right, they obviously
because they didn't really clarify this.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of closure due to the Undertaker.
Yeah.
So yeah,
apparently everyone thinks John Laurinaitis is gone, but I doubt it.
There
I think
was
he'll
no
be back.
indicator he left.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark Henry says, "I'm not asking for that match. I'm demanding you for it." I think he basically grabs his lapels and Teddy Long goes, "Yeah, you're suspended indefinitely. Don't ever put your hands on me again. I'm the general manager. I am the intelligent mind that books the matches and makes the money."
Play it.
That's Teddy Long, player.
And while
Is that your attempt to be Magpie being Teddy Long?
No, I was just saying that. So.
Play it.
as we all know, Mega Fighter is also half black. Mark Henry grabs Teddy Long by the...
insulted.
Sorry.
I'm 100% white. White chocolate.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Why did
I
that
like
prompt
chocolate.
a porn thoughts?
No, it follows porn thoughts, and when someone says something pimp. Yeah.
I also
I go
white.
good on pretzels.
But yeah, basically, Mark Henry is like he thinks, and then he says, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm getting suspended. I'll kick your ass anyway." At that, Sheamus comes out, and he's like, looks like a great atmosphere out here. I'm ready for a fight. And they're about to go at it when Teddy Long breaks him up, and he says, "You know what? Teddy basically wants to know which world title Sheamus is going to go for, and it's like, I haven't thought about that. I'll wait till after the Elimination Chamber to make my
I
decision."
don't know.
And at that, Cody Rhodes interrupts and basically is like, "You may have won the Royal Rumble, but I had the best showing. I lasted more than 45 minutes. I eliminated the most people. 2 of them legends, by the way. I know one of them was Jim Duggan. I'm pretty damn sure he eliminated Jim Duggan, but forgot which one the other one was.
Mick Foley.
And it was Mick Foley. Okay. He's basically like, I have all this momentum coming off the Royal Rumble.
He was in that long? I didn't notice.
Oh yeah, he basically it was kind of unfortunate to me that he got eliminated with Miz. Like, he was like, oh, 2 long runners, like, go die. But yeah, he was in there for quite a while. I think he was number 4.
Yep.
But nonetheless, I have all this momentum coming off the Royal Rumble. I'm gonna take that, go all the way to the Elimination Chamber, and pull an Ultimate Warrior. Become the first person since him to become both an Intercontinental and a World Champion.
I would not want to pull an Ultimate Warrior.
Doesn't mean he'll go insane and then become really homophobic.
Yeah. And it's funny because Cody then says, wait, forget about me being like the Ultimate Warrior. Teddy and Sheamus, I think of you as the Ultimate Warrior because half the time I don't know at all what you guys are saying. So Teddy Long says, understand this. You're going to be in a match with Sheamus after the break.
All your these and thous and fellas and...
Yeah. And they proceed to have a decent SmackDown match. Not much I could say about this except Cody Rhodes uncorked his like a beautiful moonsault press. Like, it's the variation where Sheamus is standing and he takes it as like sort of like a crossbody. But man, that I probably the best moonsault in this company these days. There's nothing much else I could say. Oh yeah, and the finish.
Isn't he the only person that does a moonsault in the company these days?
Technically Eve,
probably.
but...
Oh yeah, Eve, but his is better.
Well, let's just say he has not a lot to compete with.
Well, basically, they have a nice back and forth match. They reverse each other's kicks. Cody tries a beautiful disaster. Sheamus ducks. Sheamus tries the bro kick. Cody ducks. Cody runs toward Sheamus. He puts him on his shoulder in a fireman carry and does the Schwein, because that is apparently his new finish. The air raid crash, the Schwein. Trying to think of like any other friggin' Emerald Flosion. The list goes on. Nonetheless, and the reaction from Booker T was, "I've never seen Sheamus do that."
Mm.
Didn't he do it in the lead up to Royal Rumble? I could recall talking about this a few weeks ago.
It's not the point.
Yeah, but we go to commercial break. We come back. Cody Rhodes is still at ringside, basically making a scene of everything, bitching. Like I guess he was screwed some way. Like they don't want to give a mic to him because like anything he say wouldn't make any sense. So out comes Justin Gabriel, and conveniently enough, Cody Rhodes decides to take his anger out on him. Camacho and Hunico join in. They don't really have much of a fact. I believe Hunico cuts a promo, but I don't. Oh yeah, he cuts a promo basically along the lines of like that he's sick of being judged. He's sick of like people walking around the street and people being afraid of him. So like he's
Well, first of all, get off the bicycle, unless
Yeah.
he doesn't do that all the time.
I was watching SmackDown with my girlfriend, and her exact words upon seeing him were, "Oh dear God, no."
Your girlfriend is right.
Oh. Wow, so she's already wise to the wrestling standard of awful stereotypes before they happen.
Yeah, I keep making her watch this stuff in like Mexican America or Hunico comes on, and she's like, "What the fuck are you watching?"
Yeah.
Seriously, it just pisses me off that any Latino wrestler has to do this. I mean, come on.
It
They have to speak
when's the last time-
Spanglish and.
Oh yeah.
When's the last time just we had a normal Hispanic character? Not even Eddie was a normal Hispanic character. Maybe towards the end, but and Eddie could make it work so it didn't seem like such a gross stereotype, and it was just him being entertaining.
I mean, I hate to tell you guys, but Chavo, as undignified as and fucked up as like he was treated post Eddie's death, he didn't really have too stereotypical a gimmick. He was just he was just a very pathetic jobber that's in storylines with a midget. Like
And then he pretended to be an eagle.
I remember I remember there was one brief moment where I think he was in a number one contenders match with Dolph Ziggler, and he was going to steal Vicky's boyfriend's spot, but that's really all he had before he got released.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, who's going to stop Hunico Camacho and Cody Rhodes from attacking Justin Gabriel? Khali, of course, because he's returned full time.
They are surprised he's using the brain chop and do not defend against the brain chop.
Yes, and they don't scout his lifting you up in the air and dropping you by your head.
Seriously,
come on, guys. Come on, guys. This guy has less moves than fucking Kevin Nash.
Shit.
At least he has a power bomb.
But yeah, enough about that.
You have to try hard to have less moves. You have to try to have less moves than Kevin Nash.
I know.
Tried very hard.
Well, he was perfect for the SmackDown game. I mean, he only has 4 moves.
He was perfect for killing cops and getting away with it.
Anyone read his comic book? Wait, that's something for later.
Teddy Long is in his office with McIntyre, who's again like being very, very on the tips of his toes, saying, "Teddy, you got to help me." Saying all his losses are flukes. He's gonna prove everyone wrong, and he's gonna get his job back. Teddy Long says, every match you've had and you've lost. Like if there's one thing people don't like, it's predictable television, and every week is predictable when you're in a match. Santino, like Drew, basically walks off. He's like, find some way to impress me. And Drew's like, I'll find a way. He walks off. Santino comes in. He has a new tag team partner because fuck you, Yoshitatsu. It's Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who is probably the only other appearance he's going to make after the Rumble. As
I hope so. I hope they don't try and bring Hacksaw back again.
Yeah, didn't they have him around 2008, 2009 when they were like just in random backstage segments, just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, their new tag team, Santino. How cute. Duggan Chance USA. I mean, of course he's still got the spirit for this, and like, what gimmick does he really have to? He doesn't have to evolve his gimmick, but yeah, who cares? Clotheslines. Teddy starts to like basically drink coffee or whatever, and the Sin Cara mood lighting begins, and Oksana's saxophone follows. Blah blah. Oksana's segment. They have an innuendo where Oksana picks up Duggan's 2x4, and he comes in to get it, and he's like, "Oh, I left this here, ho!" And Oksana basically points at herself, and she goes, "Did he just call me?" And they've done that joke before with Oksana.
I don't get it anymore. I don't get it anymore. I just don't get it anymore.
If our listeners will recall 2010's Old School Raw, where they brought JR back, they had the old New Generation format of everything. They had that segment where Cody and Goldust and Dusty Rhodes with a blonde wig were like dancing around. Dusty goes, "I got some weird kids." This was in the midst of the NXT Season 3 angle where Oksana was going to marry Goldust, blah, 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 blah. But Jim Duggan comes in, he says ho, and she said, "What did you just call me?" Like, it's a weird joke that they decided to repeat.
It's not weird, it's just stupid.
Yeah. And we have...
Stupid, it's just forgetful.
But they don't want you to. They don't want you to forget it. We have another WWE compilation, Hall of Fame compilation for Mike Tyson, and we move on to our next match: Santino and Jim Duggan versus Epico and Primo. Non-title match. A lot of clotheslines coming from Jim Duggan, some Cobra teases, but Epico and Primo win. Nothing to say about this match.
This is how much of a joke the tag team division is. It's just we have what, 2 free groups, I guess, in the tag team.
Well, I mean, you can pretty much tell how low it got because it's these two guys saying "take us seriously" against a fake Italian stereotype and a guy who yells "ho."
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, the current tag teams
This is your serious contenders, by the way.
It's like, here it is. If I could make a really stupid analogy between the status of the tag team division, basically, it's like you're playing board game online, and you're not only at space 0, but you're dead. And as soon as you get back up to revive, you die again. And not only that, but like everyone else is at like last space is 150. Everyone else is at space 80 and 90 and 120, and you're still at space 0, and you're dead. The tag team division will never fucking get to space 150.
No.
Yeah, so enough about Aeroplane
shitload.
board game online.
They will have to make moves like having like a tag match be the main event of Raw. Like, they'll really have to showcase it. They'll really have to put an effort, other than just making another like team or bringing people up from FCW. They for people who think that they're reviving it, if Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli were going to come in as a tag team, it's not happening now. I don't even think that really would have done it. Would have been fun, but I don't think that would have done it. The tag team division is still stagnating, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. But
if they're not going to use it, they should just phase it out.
I wouldn't mind it.
I mean, there's nothing more worthless than wasting something. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been wasting it for a long time, too.
And we come back with Michael Cole in the middle of the ring, and he's coming in to introduce Daniel Bryan.
This gets back to what I was talking about how after months of Michael Cole bitching and complaining about what a D-bag D-Bry was, now Cole's kind of getting proven right.
Yeah, especially like he basically says, I think Daniel Bryan, I think you proved yourself at that triple threat match. Even though some people say you're lucky, I could be man enough to admit that I'm wrong. And he offers his hand, and this is the point where you think that Bryan would actually solidify this by basically shaking hands with his own personal devil. When he's just like, he takes the mic and he's like, you know what, Cole? I don't need your approval. This isn't all about you. It's about me.
So Michael Cole finally eats some crow and is like, okay, you might be as good as you think you are. And then Daniel Bryan's like, fuck you. I am awesome. I don't need your approval to be awesome.
And he doesn't use that attitude before.
But Daniel Bryan comes out to say more or less what he said on Raw. He beat two freaks, two monsters inside a steel cage. I'm not only a champion, that makes me a great champion, and I'm also a role model, and everyone should follow in my footsteps by being a vegan. And yeah, CM Punk, straight edge society. I wonder if he's gonna take.
He's a lot douchier about it, though.
He definitely is.
A lot douchier.
CM Punk played someone who is completely crazy. Daniel Bryan is just someone who's incredibly smug, and in my book, both are fairly evil. Both are on pretty equal levels. And basically, he's like, stop eating meat, stop poisoning intestines, killing innocent animals, stop mutilating cattle. He didn't actually say that. I wish he did. And
he did mention slaughterhouses, though. So
stop, or else we're gonna keep making horrible Flash games.
And basically, being in Nebraska, everyone in the building is a lesser person than me, and he's probably healthier than them. I have no clogged arteries, no congenital heart failure is coming down the road for me, and everyone should follow me because of that. Yeah.
You guys are dying.
And basically, he's like Mark Henry. He doesn't think he should be in the Elimination Chamber. Certainly not to defend his championship. And I shouldn't have to defend it against 5 people. And especially not Big Show, someone who he's faced time and again and proven wrong. And especially since he held the record for the shortest title reign. Don't know how such a face like Big Show could beat Dolph Ziggler, but hey, there it goes. Keeps putting them over, and basically, and then he goes back to, he ran over my 95-pound girlfriend as if she was a piece of meat.
She's 95 pounds. You're 500 pounds. She's 95 pounds.
Those were crocodile tears.
And Daniel Bryan also pretty much told us what the end of Raw didn't, and that saying I'm gonna take my case to the board of directors if you keep trying to put me in this match, and you'll join John Laurinaitis and so many people in the crowd in the unemployment line. Full heel. Big Show comes out to interrupt. He starts it off by saying oh, I'm sorry, I was gonna get out here sooner and shut you up, but I was enjoying a fine steak.
Cheap pop.
And Big Show does this. I actually really like Big Show's kind of face when he's a face and he talks down to heels, where he's like, no, it's you don't do it like this, you do it like this. I know, I'm a veteran. He's like, you're not a role model. You have to do things, not say things.
Silly
eating steak.
Giant.
And basically, Daniel Bryan's like, yeah, I know, you're a giant. You're a veteran. The odds are stacked against me, and I might lose the world championship, but it won't be to you, because you're a loser. And I'm the type of person that can defy the odds. He thinks he's Cena. And we get more SmackDown poking.
Until he comes out dressed as a giant 10-year-old, I won't believe him.
Yeah. He pokes and he pokes and he pokes until Big Show gets really pissed off. He tosses Daniel Bryan around, and he's going to choke slam him, and he does.
Yeah, he does choke slam him. He
And-
choke slams him right before AJ.
I'd like to confirm that he did choke slam him.
So after that happens, AJ comes out with a very conspicuous neck brace. It doesn't look convincing. If they're going the way I want them to, it's not supposed to look convincing.
Good.
And basically, he's about to set up for the knockout punch when AJ grabs his hand, and she's standing in the middle of there, pretty much scared stiff. I originally attributed it to like limited acting, and come on, I mean, it's not like she went to any classes, but like that's probably the case. But nonetheless, it put over the fact that she was basically scared stiff. She stops him from
That's what she said.
Pants to be darkened.
She stops Show from punching Daniel Bryan, gets out of the ring, and goes into her boyfriend's arms. Bryan says like, I'll never let him hurt you again, and we go to our we go to a backstage segment that a lot of people are rolling their eyes at, that for some reason I'm warming up to. Don't ask me why. I'm ashamed of myself. But Natalya Neidhart and Beth Phoenix are doing squats in the back. And you know where this is going based on the rumors and based on the backstage segment. They're doing squats. This is the perfect time for Natalya to rip a few farts. And she does.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For some reason,
This segment was okay to start, but then Santino entered.
oh yeah,
No, nothing about this is okay.
No.
Let's not say this is okay. And I know
Everything.
I know Natalya's come out on her Twitter and been like, "No, really, I'm fine with it." But
I'd say, like, I keep on saying this. The worst way that this could happen is if they're really trying to bury her before they heave her, like before they push her out of the company. If that's the case, then yeah, this is fucking awful. But if it's just something that they're doing because she did something bad, God only knows what the fuck she did or who the fuck she pissed off. If this is just gonna happen for like 2 months, then I won't complain. Like
I'm about to make an awful joke. It's
Oh,
the wrong kind
God.
of push.
It's the wrong kind of
Oh, Alli.
I told you. Told you.
Dude.
bro.
Told you.
Jeez.
Yeah. They have a tag match that basically ends the way it ended before. Except there actually is a little bit storyline furthering, which is why, like, I guess I'm kind of okay with Natalya's thing. It may be temporary. Basically, Natty's in. She's giving she hits Oksana with a Michinoku driver. And basically, in the midst of the match, Beth slaps her on the back, giving her the blind tag and really kind of making her concerned. Hits the glam slam, makes it look like her match on Raw, and they win the match. But Beth walks away with her title, saying, "This is you get out of my ring," or whatever. And
Well, at least she's not losing.
Yeah, at the very least, they're not losing. But it seems like there's going to be a rift between them two. Gee, I haven't thought of something, or rather, I just thought of something. What if Natalya turns heel, but she becomes like a sort of Terrence and Phillip, where she's endeared for her flatulence?
No.
Oh, that's never gonna happen. People don't like people who fart. Who do you really like that farts all the time?
I don't know.
I don't know anyone that farts all the time.
I like me.
Because
I like me.
I don't know. My cat.
I like me.
I mean, is she trying to be as endearing as my cat? I don't know.
Oh yeah, and so Natalya's left in the middle of the ring. She's about to put the sharpshooter on Oksana when Tamina super kicks the fuck out of her, and superfly splashes Natalya. Ugh, I wish I didn't have to say that. I'm glad that someone's getting pushed because it's at the expense of someone else. But hey, not against Tamina being showcased. And basically, we learn that Mark Henry is no longer in the Elimination Chamber match, like as a sort of extension of his punishment being suspended. Teddy Long, or rather, the Michael Cole announces that the new participant is the Great Khali.
Brain chop.
Angry son.
Why?
Angry son.
Choke bomb.
Why couldn't they? They could have put like Drew McIntyre in here.
Yeah.
Or
Justin Gabriel, because he appears to be feuding with Cody Rhodes.
Ted DiBiase, maybe.
Yeah, Ted DiBiase.
Anyone but Khali.
Yoshitatsu, that'd be great.
Fucking Trent Beretta. Oh, maybe not. Well, actually, I mean, if you want to see someone working, the crowd is confused and they wouldn't react, but
Anyone but Khali, please. Can we put Karma in there or someone? I don't know.
And we now have a bunch of John Cena packages, some Randy Orton footage. He's now back in his locker room with Matt Striker. And Matt Striker says Wade Barrett threw you down a flight of stairs. He separated your shoulder. He put you out of commission for a few weeks. Will you be more conservative for your match? And Orton says, well, I don't hold anything back, and I honestly don't have a problem with Barrett throwing me down a flight of stairs, because I would have done the same thing. Oh.
Our face, ladies and gentlemen.
Basically, but I do have a problem with Barrett saying that he ended my career, and I'll beat him down to prove how pissed I am at that. And I'll beat him even further at the Elimination Chamber. And I'll become the 10-time champion.
God.
You know, becoming a 10-time champion is like not even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Like, remember when that used to be a big deal?
Especially since you could just win your 10th championship and then lose it within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, really.
Within the next pay-per-view.
I miss Prestige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss people that got over despite not winning any belts.
And we can't have any more of that shit.
Yeah. Well, no, Santi. But nonetheless, before our big main event, Barrett versus Orton in an ODQ match, we have Daniel Bryan and AJ in Teddy Long's office. And Daniel Bryan all but says like he wants Big Show out of the company, and because AJ, this is not a safe environment for AJ, she's scared half to death. And Teddy says, "Screw it, watch the main event. Like we'll discuss it later."
Did I mention she's 95 pounds?
And he's 500 pounds.
Yes, she is. I heard you, player.
Those were crocodile tears.
I know,
Got
player.
it. Crocodile tears.
I'm a vegan. I know.
Yeah.
Yes, she is vegan.
Our no DQ match. I'm very ashamed to say that like I didn't pay as much attention to this as I should have, because
it was boring as fuck.
They had I mean, from the description,
it was boring as fuck.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It seemed like they were really pulling out all the stops. I mean, I've never seen Wade Barrett do a bow and arrow, but
I don't care about Wade Barrett and Randy Orton wrestling anymore.
I mean, they're not awful. It's just they're kind of slow.
Yeah.
Doesn't really come exciting. Just slow.
It's not a clash of styles. It's two guys who wrestle kind of the same way, and that makes things really fucking boring.
Well, yeah, I ought to give this another viewing. I mean, yes, it has a lot of chances of being boring as fuck as you guys described, but just the direction of it seems fairly consistent. Where basically Orton's screwing over Barrett. He's about to superplex him on a table. Barrett shoves him into it. He gets the advantage until I believe Orton I believe takes a chair and starts wailing on him with an IEDDT, spinning side slam. It did take Orton 2 RKOs to put down Wade Barrett, which I suppose is something of a put over, and especially since the second RKO was on a chair. But nonetheless, yeah, I guess you guys were right. Like,
it's boring.
The only thing that would, I guess, liven their feud up would be just like what their participation in the Elimination Chamber looks like.
Yeah. If
But
one of them were kicked out, if they lost, that would have worked. Just something. But otherwise, it's just don't bother. Just shut off the TV then. You pretty much watched it, so.
and what follows is pretty funny with Daniel Bryan, where Teddy and him are in his office, and they basically just discuss it, and Teddy Long says, Daniel Bryan, you're not gonna have to worry about Big Show. You're facing Randy Orton next week. Daniel Bryan doesn't back down. He says he's not afraid of giants. He's not afraid of snakes. But AJ, you're going to be in the back just so you can be safe.
Mm.
At this point, Orton's still doing his slow turnbuckle poses when Daniel Bryan comes out with the championship, does his usual taunts, points to it, goes in the ring to celebrate in front of Randy Orton, who kind of notices, and then he just leaves before they can stare each other down.
It's like someone's constantly playing Orton at half speed.
Here's what I think. Daniel, he's gonna get out of it by basically having AJ low blow Randy Orton, like rendering the whole thing like a sort of fake. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see, because this is definitely an unprecedented match. We have never seen these two face each other in any way, shape, or form.
That could be interesting.
Considering every single feud that he's had with capable workers this year, Christian, Cody Rhodes, Dolph Ziggler, the first match will always be fun to watch. I wonder how long they're going to drag it out. If we're going to see Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for the next 8 weeks, there might be a chance of that.
Then we'll all get bored of it, and then they'll do it a couple months later, and we'll just do the same thing we said with Ziggler earlier.
But yeah, that was SmackDown. Like I said, I'll definitely be looking forward to next week's main event and Raw. Like as always, the storylines on that I'm looking forward to.
WWE really does go in cycles. It really does. Gets awesome at this time, pretty good during the summer, tails off during the fall, sucks during the winter, gets awesome again in January.
I blame football.
Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah, you'd think when football would be around they'd actually try, but they don't, and they blame it on not football.
It's all the Miz's fault.
Yeah.
Whatever you did.
Nonetheless, we'll end the show as usual with our WWE counterpart of our favorite segment. What gets more screen time than John Morrison? And for me, violent flatulence gets more screen time than John.
Oh, God.
People getting poked gets more screen time than John Morrison.
Ominous gongs get more screen time than John Morrison.
Tyler Rex gets more screen time than John Morrison.
Oh God.
Well, that was the dark match for the aftermath of WWE Royal Rumble. I'm Christopher Says, as usual.
I'm Mega Fighter Free.
I probably won't be on for another 3 months.
And
He's still
I'm
Alli.
Clover.
Good
Good
night, everyone.
night and good luck.